Hey guys, welcome to the pod. My name is Eli, and I talk to people who have done long term travel and traveled the world. If you are interested in traveling, you're not going to want to miss this pod. I talked to Andreas, who traveled through Europe for $5,000, ended up going to South America, Southeast Asia, and now he's landed himself a job where he's able to work part time and travel part time. So if you've ever wanted to travel and you want to hear other people's experiences to make it more accessible, that's what we're here for. So enjoy. And if you have any questions, just comment below. First question is, a lot of people are like super scared to travel. Could you just share kind of how you got into traveling and like when you started?
Yeah, absolutely. The first time I traveled was in 2023, I think. So it's only been like 2 or 3 years now that I've started like doing this. And basically, like I was in Canada, I was working. I had broken up with my girlfriend recently, so I was all down and about and like just not happy with my situation. I was working as a archaeological field tech then, so I was saving up money, just working in the field. And after I saved up like enough money, like 5 or 6 grand, I was just like, screw it, I'm just gonna go crazy adventure, just like end it. So I ended up doing a workaway in Croatia, which was a party boat, funny enough, which was very, very fun. Basically, I'd work like 4 hours a day, and then they would give me free accommodation. So I was in Split, which is an awesome, awesome city, and that was very fun. It was a little crazy, like partying every day, but after like a week, basically, I just did basically like a whole Balkan tour. I went Croatia to Bosnia, Bosnia to Albania, or to Montenegro, Montenegro to Albania, Albania to Greece, and like the whole thing was just so like amazing. Like just living in hostels, I was meeting so many people. I met like a group of guys and girls that were I basically like I'm like longtime friends with now. It was like amazing. It opened my eyes to the whole backpacking traveling thing, and I've been doing it ever since. It kind of cycles basically. It's awesome.
That's amazing. And so when people are like thinking about traveling, they think like 5,000 isn't a lot. How much was it like for hostels and how did you get from place to place?
Honestly, it wasn't too much. Like in the Balkans specifically, for Europe, it's cheap. Like I was paying like I'm thinking like USD here. Like I was paying probably like $10. Like in Albania, it was like $10, or not even like $7 a night for a hostel, and like food, like $5 or whatever for like a plate of food, like beers and stuff. I was taking Flixbus. If you're in Europe, use Flixbus because you can get to anywhere and it's like dirt cheap for like 5, 10, 15 euros. You can go to multiple countries. So basically just doing that. And if you're cool with like the long bus ride and like it's part of the adventure, it's part of the adventure. Flights, like you'll take you from A to B quickly, but like a nice long bus ride, especially with your homies, like nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. Yeah, and honestly, I find flights in Europe are a pain in the ass. If I could take a bus, I'd rather, especially because of luggage. Like they'll get you on the
Yeah.
flight will be cheap, but then you're like literally allowed like the smallest, littlest, lightest backpack, and you get there and there's no
Yeah,
mercy. Like if you if you
exactly.
go to try to get on an airplane and your bag is like even the slightest bit big, they'll just like charge you more than the flight actually cost. So,
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm always terrified of that on the flight because I have like a bigger, like slightly like 40 liter, and I'm always terrified they're gonna check it. I think it might not work. I've never been checked yet, but like Ryanair, EasyJet, you'll get screwed, man. You'll get paid like 50 euros on that thing. Like
exactly.
buses are the way for sure.
And honestly, Croatia I feel like is kind of slept on too. Like I feel like I went to Split as well, and like weather wise,
Mm,
beaches wise, I feel like the Balkans in general are like super underrated and super cost effective. Like anyone who says Europe is too
yeah,
expensive, like it's because they're looking at the wrong places. To be completely honest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Big time. Croatia is gotten it's gotten more like a lot more expensive recently, but it's literally like Italy. Like if you go there, the Adriatic Sea,
Yeah.
you got beaches, you got your Aperol spritz, you got everything, man. It's basically like discount Italy. It's starting to get more like Italy level, but like true discount Albania. That's
Mhm.
fire. They
Yeah,
got
and
really nice beaches and it's still dirt cheap. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and somewhere that I did actually is I have friends that got married in Greece. So we went to their
Mm.
destination wedding, but they're from Macedonia. I don't know if you've ever heard of Macedonia, also in the Balkans.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was super cheap. Like we stayed, my wife and I was working remote at the time, and we ended up going from Greece. We took a bus to to Macedonia, and then we got like the sickest Airbnb, and I think for the whole month was like it was pretty lavish, but it was like six hundred and fifty
Yeah.
dollars in like the best neighborhood in the
Nice.
best street of the neighborhood, and we lived there for super cheap. And like I had a gym membership with a sauna, and for the month was like 60
Yeah.
bucks, and like you can live really nice out there, and the people are super nice, and English is like
Yeah.
pretty good. Like you can definitely get away with
Really.
speaking English, yeah. But
That was the one place I did. I never got out to there. Like North Macedonia, you mean, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. So I stayed in
the country.
Skopje,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was I
Right.
highly
Right. Right.
recommend it. Yeah, like one real good trick, because like Macedonia is not super like common for travelers. One super good trick is I have like this Chat GPT where it like knows all of my favorite neighborhoods, and then it gives me
Mm.
equivalents to any place I go. So I make sure that
Oh,
like
really?
I know exactly what neighborhood in each city will be the best. So it's like a super
Nice.
good
That's
hack.
smart.
Yeah, 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 exactly.
Real
So,
smart. Yeah.
so going back to Workaway, for people that don't know what Workaway is, maybe you could just give them some context about like what it is and how it works.
Yeah, absolutely. Backpackers, or they call it World Packers, or Workaway. Well, yeah, it's Workaway. World Packers, or what's the other one called? Crap, I forgot. There's another one that's more popular than World Packers. This is the one I did. But basically, it's like a website where you can sign up and put your sign up to do work for somebody, and they'll give you accommodation. So I think you pay like $50 subscription, and then you can message each of the individual people, and it's totally worth it. Like once you invest, then you can go to like any place you want. You get like free accommodation. You get the connections of being there. So like they'll hook you up with people to work with, like people that locals that they know. It's the best way to do it in terms of like budget travel, because the main thing is you get connections, which is sometimes it's like, it can be lonely or isolating just showing up by yourself. Like hostels are good for that too, but in this way you can do like a long term. Usually it'll be like 2 weeks to a month kind of thing, or longer. Some people do 4 6 months. In my case I did like a week and a half, 2 weeks. It was like a shorter one, but for long term budget travel, it's awesome.
Yeah, I think one great thing about Workaway as well is it like kind of buys you time. So like if you're like trying to figure out what your plans are next, or if you're trying to like build a business or something and you want the free accommodations and just peace of mind, it's a really great way to do that as well. Plus, like as you said, you
Yeah.
make connections, which I think as a person who's never traveled, that's probably the scariest part about going out by yourself is you don't realize how important connections are in the process of traveling. Like a lot of the time,
Yeah.
I keep my itinerary super open because you never know who you're going to meet and like what kind of plans and trips they're doing. And you could just like kind of connect and then build a trip off of that as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why hostels too. I always recommend people to stay in hostels. If you're traveling solo or like traveling in general and you want to meet people, go to hostels, because like you instantly just make a bunch of friends. Like there's nothing worse than getting to a place and you stay in a hotel by yourself and you just don't talk to anybody and you just stay in your room the whole time, and like there's like it's just like it's
Exactly.
comfy, but like yeah, there's no social aspect to it.
Exactly. And I
And a lot of
think
hostels have private. So if that's what you like, is sleeping private, they have those too.
exactly. Or if you're like a couple, I think it's a good thing too. If you're like with
Yeah.
a couple, I mean, you could do the monk beds, but it is also nice to have a private thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's honestly, I feel like having less money makes you meet more people, and honestly, a lot of the people are in
Yeah.
similar situations. So you guys are all like, you know, generally going to be like doing similar things, and you adventurous and trying to explore as well, and you can kind of choose like what you want to go do and what you don't feel like doing. Like I know for
Yeah.
me, like
Exactly.
after like maybe a month or two, I'll want to get like my own accommodations or something just to like decompress or like chill. But it's
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah, it's you realize how flexible life is when you are like just on the road and you are just like
Yeah.
being like spontaneous. You kind of realize that like when you come back to the real world, like life is a video
Yeah.
game. Like I feel like after my
Oh yeah.
first travel, I just like realized that like Nothing is so serious. You can, like, as long as you have time, your money is going to go far. And like that's
Oh
for
yeah,
some of the craziest things. Like you start to get creative too. Like I think people kind of neglect like overnight transportation. Like that is such a cheat code because then you get an accommodation and you're getting to a new
yeah,
place. You literally, it's like time traveling.
true,
Like overnight
true,
buses, overnight trains, slow boats. I've done slow boats in
yeah,
like Southeast Asia where I'm going from like an island to the mainland and you're like sleeping on the floor with like all the locals, and it's like it's
yeah,
sick. Like everyone's just turning up, drinking, partying, and you're just like on this
yeah.
like on a mat on the floor, and when you get to the next place, it's literally like 8 in the morning and you have the whole day, you know? And it's like,
Yeah, right. And
yeah.
it's completely different than like what we do in North America or even Europe, you know, like in terms of travel. That is so true. And it is a cheat code. Overnight buses, man. You get there, you don't need to pay for the hotel. You're ready to go for the next day. As long as you can sleep on the bus, like you're
Yep.
set. So true.
And you're allowed to bring like food and drinks usually, so you can have some beers. And the
Yeah.
locals usually that are on there are drinking too, or like hanging out.
Dude, yeah. Oh yeah.
It's good.
I did that in Europe too, man, on the Flixbus in between like Poland and Czechoslovakia and stuff. Like I had a few beers, man. I bought some pierogies, man. Yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
So
That's definitely the move.
so after your first travel, so after the Vulcans, what did you do? What was like kind of because it's 2003 until 2006 pretty much, and it seems like travel's become like a part of your life. So like I would love to learn
Yeah.
like more of your story. Like after the Vulcans, like what did you go and do, and what are you doing now?
Yeah. Basically, after the Balkans, I went back to work. I was doing it kind of cyclically. After that, I was like, you know what? Like, I can work for like 4, 5 months, make like a good money. I was staying with my grandparents too, which like, you know, it's never fun, but it was nice seeing them, being with them. And I got the opportunity to save on rent, which is huge because in Canada it's like crazy. So I just decided like, you know what, I'm just gonna do a cycle out of it. I'm gonna go back to work. I went back to work. I worked another 4 or 5 months, and then I went on my next trip and I went to South America. I went to Brazil and Colombia. And I had met actually at work in Canada. I met a Brazilian girl that I was dating for a little while. So then she took me to Brazil, which was so nice. It was so awesome. Having like a local take you around, it was so cool. And we went to like the interior of Bahia province to the mountains. I did like a bunch of trekking and stuff. That was like 3 weeks. Then I went to Colombia, Medellin. Like, oh my God, it was so cool. And that was like my second kind of mini trip that I did. And it was definitely more like because I had a local showing me, it was more oriented towards like kind of like hotels and like she was showing me around. But from then on, I just realized like I can do this. Like I can go home, make some money, and then go to somewhere cheaper and just spend it and kind of live a little more excitedly. You know, I feel like a lot of people like they just spend their whole time working. You spend all your money on rent, spend all your money on the car. You know, you don't really do much. To me, like that just wasn't much of a life. I was like, as long as I'm in my 20s and I have like energy and a little bit of money, like I'm gonna be going and doing these things. Like, and I recommend it to everybody. Like, if you're young and you can save some money, like just do it. Just get out there and try your hand at it. It's so worth it, man. Like,
And and like
I,
I feel like a lot of people are like scared of South America. What would you tell them? Like and how is the cost and stuff for hotels?
there wasn't too bad at all. It was actually quite cheap, cheaper than Europe for sure. Like things were very cheap, and you can have like high end or low end. And we stayed in like mid range, and like yeah, dude. I mean, a hotel you weren't paying more than like like 30, 40 bucks for like a nice hotel. This was like in the country and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was getting like plates of food, like awesome food for like 6 bucks. You could get like a big ass plate of food, a beer, stuff like that. Beer was super cheap there, like incredibly cheap, like $1 for like a beer or something like that. Like they love drinking beer in South America. And like the only thing I didn't like was the whole like security thing, because everybody would always they know you're gringo or whatever, so they'd always be like watch out, like don't go out at night,
Mm.
don't like walk down the wrong street, don't do this, don't do that. So for the first while I was like really on edge, but it honestly, and like I say this carefully, but like I only started really enjoying it when I kind of let go a bit and like loosened up a bit. Always be careful, like definitely don't go out at night into the wrong places and don't do this and that, but like It's much better than a lot of people make it out to be. Like Brazil, people think you're just gonna freaking die, like you're just gonna get shot immediately, and like no, if you go to like busy areas and during the day and like you ask people, like you can always ask people, like, is this safe? Like, can I do this? Like, and Brazilians are the nicest people ever. Like, they're
Mm.
so kind, so they'll get you hip. But like, yeah, it's not as bad as they say. Definitely not as bad as they say. Always be careful. That being said, like, be careful. But it's it's a really awesome place. The people there are the best. Like, they're just so down to earth. Like, both Brazilians and Colombians are they're really
Mm.
friendly people, which
Yeah.
I loved.
That's one thing. Like, I haven't been there yet, but like Mexico, like people are always like, "Oh, I mean, right now what's going on is a little crazy." But like every time I've been to
Yeah,
Mexico, it's been first of all super affordable, like amazing food, and the street food and everything. Like as long as you're eating where locals are eating and the place is busy, eat the street food, like 100%. Like I
yeah,
highly recommend
big
it.
time.
And street food is just so affordable and so delicious, and you save so much money. Like I feel like the only times I've been sick is when I try to eat Western food in a non-Western country. Like I've
Yeah,
eaten like
yeah, exactly.
I've eaten on the streets where I have no idea what I'm eating, but it's busy. You know what I mean? You see the food is turning over,
Yeah,
and I've never had any issues. But yeah, with
as
Mex,
long as it's like coming out hot, then yeah, you'll be good. If
exact.
like you say, because the Western food it sits around, bro. Like they'll leave that bacon sitting around. They'll leave those like fries sitting around, waiting for that gringo to come and buy it. You know, but
Exactly.
the street food is constantly like recycled, like it's being constantly made. Like, yeah, that is so true. I've never gotten food poisoning
Me,
traveling.
me neither. And people are always like, "Oh, watch
Never.
out," and I'm like, "No, you like eat with the like every time I like." And for me, like anytime I'm hungry, I'll just like talk to a local and be like, "Yo, what do you recommend? Like, what's good here?" And I'd rather be like spending my money with like like a local on the street than like some fast food chain or some random ass American
Yeah,
food, you know? So
big time. Oh, big time.
with after South America, what did you do? Like, are you still like doing the archaeological stuff? And like, was your company okay with you taking breaks, or like, because I feel like that was a huge question that I get is like, how are you able to take
Mm,
breaks? How are you able to like make this like a thing to do? And even
yeah,
yeah,
that's sorry, yeah. No, I was gonna say that's the whole like beauty of the of what I was doing, the archaeological thing. Like it's called cultural resource management. So we would just do like contracts, and my work was totally cool with me coming and going with the wind, which was the whole reason I was able to do this. Like you get no job security. I don't have paid sick days. I don't have like benefits. I don't have any of that stuff. And if the weather's really bad, I don't get paid. If I'm not working, I don't get paid. But the beauty of it is that I can choose when to work. So I can say, okay, this week I'll be here, next week I won't, and they'll be like, fine, like because they want the help. So it's kind of like a very loose thing. Like there's drawbacks to it, of course, but for me, like it worked great. Like I'm young, I got energy, I'm fit, and if I can work for 6 months in a row, like they want me to, or 4 months, and then just take off the rest of the time, works perfect for me. So that worked amazingly. And I was gonna say right after, like I think it was summer of 2024, I think that I went to South America. The following winter, I went to Southeast Asia, and that's when I turned it up. That's when I turned it up a notch. That was like my level 2 or level 3 experience. Like that, and you've been to Southeast Asia. That's yeah, that's like another. If you want to do some real budget, some fun budget traveling, Southeast Asia is the way to go. That I went to South Korea, which
mm,
wasn't super budget, but it was nice. It was very nice, and the food I think is some of my favorite. And then so yeah, Vancouver to Seoul, South Korea, then South Korea to Bangkok, and then Bangkok to Hanoi, and then Hanoi to Japan when I did a
mm.
little trip with my parents when they were there. So that was again a little less budget, but definitely Japan was so awesome. And then I went back to Thailand actually afterwards because I was like I couldn't get enough of it. So that was the key there, yeah. And I actually ended up meeting my girlfriend that I'm currently with now in Thailand. So it was successful trip, very successful trip.
That's so cool.
Southeast Asia is like as you know, that's the place to be right now. I love it. It's the best.
Yeah, the weather, the safety, the food, the
Oh,
just I feel like Southeast Asia is so good. And for me, like it gave me like faith in humanity again. Like I feel like
Yeah.
with like
Yeah.
growing up in America and whatnot, like you go there and people are all like, Americans are like, oh, be safe, like be careful. It's like not, you arrive and like the first day or second day, you're like, whoa, like you don't even
You're
like
like,
I like just like I landed in Thailand the first time. This was when I was like 25 and I'm about to be 33. So it was like the first like real travel I did by myself, and I landed and I had a hostel for one day and no plan of the whole trip. And
yeah,
you just kind of realize like once safety is out of the equation, you can kind of just feel like a weight lifted off of you, and you just like
oh,
it's
yeah,
crazy. Like I ended up meeting my wife while traveling as well. I met her in Australia and she's actually from Seoul. And Korea
nice.
was never even on my radar. And when I went there, I'd have to say it was like it's a sleeper. I feel like maybe
Yeah,
not
dude.
that many people go there, or maybe it's starting to become more popular, but Seoul
Yeah,
infrastructure is incredible. The thing that's going to get you in Korea is it's more of like a consumer culture, I'd say, than other
yeah,
places. And like food will still be pretty affordable. You could eat some super killer food, local food for like $7 and you'll have like a
yeah,
delicious meal, an incredible meal. But there's a spectrum there. I'd say
yeah,
accommodations is going to be the thing that's going to get you in Seoul. Like it's like
yeah,
hostels aren't as common, and it's I think like Japan's incredible too. Also a little more expensive, but at least they have like capsule hostels and stuff, you know what I mean? But I feel like Seoul's a
yeah, yeah,
slightly
yeah.
different experience. So
It's definitely more of like yeah, not as much a solo kind of thing, but like with a couple or like a friend for sure.
mhm.
Because they do also like the barbecue thing they do is like always two people. My
Yep.
brother went there solo and he found that was a constant issue. He'd go in and they'd be like, no, you got to order two portions at least.
Yup.
So it'd be like, oh shit, like, yeah. So it's definitely, but like, dude, the best food ever. Oh my God. I
Mm-hmm.
tell you, Korean food has got a soft spot in my
It's
heart.
funny because you definitely have to be social. Like Korean culture is so social. Like eating, like you eating alone, like there's certain places you could do it, but if you want to have a good time, it's always eating, and then like it's almost mandatory to drink. Like if you're not drinking a beer or some soju,
Yeah,
like
dude.
like they like kind of look at you weird. They're like, what are you here for?
Yeah.
And it's the same with
That's why I love it.
yeah, and it's the same with drinking. Like something I think people should know about Korea is like most of the time if you're going to get a drink at most places, it's kind of mandatory to order something off the menu to have like at your table to eat. That's like a cultural thing my
Yeah.
wife taught me, and it's like very standard practice. Like I'll go out with like her and her friends and like they'll order something and like they'll hardly eat it, and I end up gaining so much weight in Korea because like if food's on the table, I'm eating it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah. Oh, of
yeah.
course, dude. Yeah. You go to the I forget what they're called, the place where you get the snack. Like you get snacks with your drinks. They have like fried chicken and like
Yeah.
tteokbokki and stuff. It's like the snack bar kind of things. Yeah, those. Oh my God, I gain a lot of weight there too. But I love Korean food, dude.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
It's yeah, it's incredible, and I feel like I'd say that's like definitely more like luxury Asia, like Japan and
Yeah.
but like I think we connected about Bangkok, and Bangkok's like both of our favorite places. Would you recommend people go to Bangkok, and if so, like why?
Big time. Oh, big time, dude. Bangkok's number one for me. I think just because you get like a perfect mix of like you can get like the super luxury, super awesome, like top of the line stuff, or you can get like the very, very bottom, like grungy hostel kind of thing, like near the old quarter by Khao and stuff. Like you just get the best of both worlds, and they have street food is like integrated into the culture there. So you can be like in this massive like business center with skyscrapers and businessmen coming out, but you still have like a cheap, delicious street food meal. And I'm talking cheap, like, I mean, 50 baht, 30 baht or something, which translates to like, a dollar, $2 kind of thing for like the most amazing food. And it's everywhere. Some places, like, they don't have that kind of like integration with street food. You have to go to certain places, like Malaysia, I was in, it was kind of like, you can find it, but it's not everywhere. In Bangkok, it's like, the food is like, it's just amazing. And from then on, like, the partying, if you're into partying, top tier for that. If you're into like sightseeing, they have tons of temples, tons of like attractions like that. If you like malls and you like the more consumer aspect of things, the shopping there is insane. You have the Chatuchak weekend market, which you've been to. I mean, it's something else. Like Bangkok is like number one destination, and it's really built for like tourism in a way. Like that's the kind of, for better or for worse, that's kind of like the reputation they have. It's just really tourism oriented. So for somebody's first Southeast Asia trip, big time, go to Bangkok. It's my favorite city for sure. Like absolutely.
Yeah, I feel like it's really good too because you get that hustle and bustle that'll kind of like build your build up your tolerance for like
Yeah,
hectic, but it's like still entry level and there's still sidewalks and stuff. But I feel like if you want to like move into more, like I've never been to India, but I know it's like super crowded. But like if you want to move more into like the Vietnam, which I feel like is like level three, you know what I mean?
it is.
You've
Yeah,
got
it
like
is. Yeah,
level one would maybe be like would be like Europe, because I feel like Europe's a little more expensive, but it's like very like standard to what you're used to as like a Westerner. You know what I
familiar.
mean? And then
Yeah,
level two
yeah,
would be like South America, Southeast Asia, like and
yeah,
like I would say like
yeah,
maybe like like certain places, like I'd say Thailand is definitely like level two, like Chiang Mai,
yeah.
Bangkok, like they're very like it's going to be a little bit of a cultural like experience, but they're very like doable. And then when you go to like Vietnam, like Ho Chi Minh, like I feel like that's where like crossing the street, there's not really like you have to like just you do like you pray and then you walk, you know what I
You pray,
mean?
bro. Yeah,
And I feel like English is a
yeah,
lot less. Like I feel like Bangkok, you'll still be able to get around. Like definitely make an effort to like, learn how to say thank you, how to like order and stuff. But like I feel like Bangkok, like you'll definitely be able to do it without it being like overwhelming. Like if I went straight to like Ho Chi Minh and I never traveled before, like might be overwhelming for some people, you know? And I feel like
yeah, 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 yeah.
Bangkok
And
builds up your
I think
tolerance.
it's a good warm up. Sorry, I was gonna say Vietnam is a good warm up if you go to India. I feel like India is like another level in itself. Because
Yeah.
like I haven't been to India yet, but I hear it's pretty crazy. And Vietnam's a good warm up for that. Hanoi and like those areas, like Thailand is like nicely touristic. Hanoi is another beast. It's highly recommended. I think
Yeah.
it's one of my favorite places too. But yeah, I agree with you there with the tiers.
Yeah, and I feel like cost, like I was you could travel in Vietnam like same price as you would do hostels in like some certain
Yeah,
places in Thailand. So like I was sometimes I would just like I was mm, like working a lot and like doing the social media thing and I needed like just a space and I had like my own Airbnb and I think I was paying like $22 a night, which is
damn,
which
really
is
for your
crazy.
own Airbnb.
In my own Airbnb for like 22 a night, and
That's
it was pretty
that's
nice. It
really
was
good.
in a good area. I feel like the trick too is like avoid like the areas where is like the most popular for tourists. So like for me when I try to travel, I look for the most like popular area for locals, and that will save you so much
Yeah,
money too. You know?
big time. Yeah.
And the other thing is, I feel like people don't really realize, like, for us, an Uber is like $15, $20 to get around in these places. Like, there's this thing called Grab, and Grab is like pretty
Mm,
much like you could either get a car or you can hop on the back of like someone's like motorbike and you'll be able
yeah.
to just go bounce around like and pivot and be like, oh no, I actually want to do this, and it'll be like $2 $3 for like a 15,
Yeah.
20, 30 minute ride. And I
Yeah.
feel like once you start to realize that like you can make decisions and you almost don't have to really think about money that much, you start to just move really
Yeah.
differently in life. And I feel like a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of us, like coming up in America who didn't come from like either super wealthy households or like anything like that, like you you kind of get that first time of like realizing that there is like so much more flexibility in the world and just in life, like I feel like for me, like realizing that like things can cost $1 or $2, you know what I mean, was just kind of so eye-opening. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
It is.
the hardest part is going back to your country and trying to eat Thai food or eating Vietnamese food and paying like $15 for like the
Oh,
worstest version you've ever had.
Yeah, like I recommend people go to Southeast Asia to go to Thailand and eat there. But the worst part is when you go back and then you're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna be like crap. Like everything's gonna feel like a scam, and you're gonna be like, I'm paying $15, $20 for this like 3 days worth of meals and drinks. Like
Yeah.
yeah, it's like a curse almost. It's like a curse, like,
So
or, you know.
after like Southeast Asia, like what are you doing now for work? Are you still doing the archaeological stuff, or are you doing something different?
No, actually, I'm doing. I switched it up now, and I'm doing sailing. I'm a sailor, I guess you could say it, a deckhand. I got into that after like in 2025 because I met my girlfriend in Asia in Thailand, and she's Polish. So I came with her to Poland, and I lived in Poland for like a long time, for 3 months. I was looking for work, and then I ended up getting the idea from another guy I met traveling actually who worked on yachts. So he
Wow.
basically he worked as like a chef on a yacht, or yeah, as a chef on a luxury yacht, and you could like you can do like two certificates basically, like $1,200 total for the two, and you can work as basically fully legally work on a boat. So in the Mediterranean, they have like a big industry for it, and yachting is really popular. And I tried doing that for a long time, like luxury yachting. I actually went to Mallorca in Spain. I spent like weeks and weeks and weeks going around dock walking, like asking, panning out resumes. I did all my certifications. Didn't work out as well. And then the second I go back to Canada to just like kind of quit and be like, all right, I'm going back to archaeology. There's a yacht that ended up needing somebody in my province in Nova Scotia. It's so random in Canada. So that was luckily my first gig. And I worked as a deckhand for 3 months on the yacht, luxury yacht. And then after that, it kind of fell through and I switched to commercial. So now I'm doing commercial work as a deckhand. And the beauty of it, which really weaves it into the whole travel lifestyle, is that I can not only get taken around to cool places, which if you work on a boat, you'll be sailing to different places. But you get your rent paid because you're living on the boat. You get your food paid because there's usually a chef, or you get per diems. And then all the money's sent directly to your account and you have nothing to spend it on because you're on a boat. So you work, you sail for a month, I sail for 2 months, and then you just have pockets full of cash. And then usually you get like rotations, like 1 month on, 1 month off, 2 months on, one off, three on, one off kind of thing. So basically I just do that now and it works perfectly. I work, for like a month or two, and then I take off for like a month or two. And it's kind of like half and half. And it works so well. It works so well. And I'm really happy with it. I recommend it for people who are willing to do that kind of work. Like you can get a great work-life balance, which I hated the whole office grind thing. It wasn't for me,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't for me.
That's so cool. And I think that's one of the greatest things about traveling is you get exposure to different ways of life. Like you probably would have never heard of that. I never heard of that before I met you. So
Yeah.
it's just so cool. Like if you take that leap of faith, like I always feel like people worry about what they're going to do after, but they have no idea the person they're going to be after. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, exactly.
it's really hard to know what you're going to do. You might fall in love with like yoga or some random shit that you're doing at a hostel, or you might meet one person that literally is like, I'm starting this new business and I would love to hire you here to do it. Like you just never know what's going to happen. Like when I was doing the workaway in Malaysia, I was at a guest house, and randomly these people came in and they were like, we started chatting out because I was doing the front desk. So I do front desk. I think it was 3 days a week. I'd get to stay at the guest house and they'd give me one meal a day, like money for one meal a day. And I would just
Yeah.
check people in. And honestly, like the job was so easy. They would come in, I'd like do the computer, and when people weren't there, I'd just be hanging out like on the porch or chilling or whatever. And yeah, like I remember these people came in and they were like, we started chatting. We ended up hanging out after I got off, and they were like, bro, like sign up for a working holiday visa, which is something I would have never known about. And so like if you're between like the ages of like 20 and 30, like you can sign up for a visa. And this was back in like 2019, so I have no idea what it's like now, but it literally cost me like $300, and in 3 hours I got like permission to go work in Australia for a year. And that was
Yeah.
like, so literally like that was like my safety net. You get like 6 months or a year to like start it, and like it starts the moment you like enter the country. And it was pretty crazy. It gave me like that random safety net. Like if people need like some type of safety net to know that they're going to be able to make money if they're like in Southeast Asia, I'd recommend anyone do that. Like I ended up
Yeah.
going there, and you make like work life culture in Australia is insane. Like they literally
Yeah.
like Friday, like they'd be like, "Yo, let's go grab some beers and just drink at the shop," or like, you know what I mean? Like they are like, and like minimum
Yeah.
wage is like 20. I was getting like 27 USD working like at like a clothing like I was doing merchandising for Levi's, and I was like, it was so chill. Like we would just like leave, have some coffees, come back, make
Yeah.
sure shit looks good, leave, come back. You
Yeah.
know what
Right.
I mean? And like,
Australians are fun too, man. They're fun, right?
yeah, super fun, super fun. Yeah, and it's I feel like this, you're such a good testament to it, is like even if you have like 5 grand, like, and you just don't feel like satisfied with like life, like just go and see what happens. Worst case, just have enough left to like get home. And you know what? Maybe you're like shit with money and you get like a month or two out of it. Or if you like do it right, you could be traveling for like 5 or 6 months, depending on how you're doing it.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
yeah.
for me, like I found a girlfriend. I got a new career. I got like on all the fun experiences that I've had on top of it all. But like for me, very profitable, very profitable. And like you say, it's just that leap of faith. Like, don't be afraid. Like one thing I will say as a caveat, like always have a cushion, always have a backup. Never go into anything,
Mm-hmm.
without the ability to at least return to like a place where you can safely have either a family member or money backup or like
Mm-hmm.
something, like don't get
Exactly.
lost and like fucking lose your passport and like this and
Yeah.
that. But like take that leap of faith, do it. It's so worth it. And like you're gonna become such like it sounds tacit or kind of corny to say, but like you're gonna become like a more rounded and it opens your eyes a lot.
Mm.
You learn so much. Like I from now on, like as long as I have the ability to do this without any constraints, like I'm gonna just keep trying to travel as much as I can. I mean, my job is perfect for it, but like, if you can do it, then definitely do it.
Exactly. And there's ways to structure it too. Like you don't have to just go and take all the money you have. Like you can like have like a good split where you're putting money in like stocks, and then you have like a little bit that you're building up this fund. You know what I mean? And like it doesn't have to be like all
Mm.
balls to the wall. You don't have to like drain everything. And I feel like that's the other part of it, is like just realizing that this is an option, and like start getting aware that this is something that you can do in your life, especially if you're in a transitionary period, like a breakup, or even just so burnt out, or like depressed. I noticed that like
Yeah.
if you're depressed or you're like just feeling stuck, like something like this will just, change your environment and change everything. It's such a good way to like decompress, such a good way to get clarity. And like sometimes
Yeah.
in the world we're in, all you really need is some time. And I feel like when you're grinding a
Yeah.
9 to 5 and you're paycheck to paycheck, or you're like in this like loop, I just feel like I don't have time to think, or to actually
Yeah.
like get perspective on life. And I feel like when you're sitting like on like a 8 hour bus, or you're like, you know what I mean, they cancel your flight and you have
Oh
to
yeah.
sit at an airport, like you just get time by yourself to like think about what's important to you. And I feel like to
Yeah.
me that was one of the biggest realizations, is that like have patience. Like if you're like traveling like cheaply, the only thing that you need to learn is how to be patient, because you can do the exact same thing
Yeah.
for a third of the price. It's just going to take longer. So I feel like
Yeah.
it
Oh
gives you
yeah.
such
Big
an
time.
appreciation
I mean,
for time. So
all those things, right? Yeah, it really is. And a lot of times, some people, you might feel like if you find that time is moving so quickly and like you're just losing everything, it's because you're not in a new place doing new things. You're not like creating new neural pathways, they call it, right? So like
mhm.
traveling, I find it's extended. I used to feel like every day was just like getting burned, like every month after month. I'm like, holy shit, it's already September or something. When you go out and travel, like one week feels like a month and a half. Like you feel like it's like a whole era, like when you go do it, man. Like it's I like it a lot for that reason.
Yeah, definitely. And so, what would you say like is your next plans? Like, where are you now? I mean, the background's insane. So, like, what's
Yeah,
what?
yeah. I'm on top of a church right now in northern Spain. I just found myself here now. I'm gonna have to ring this bell in a second. And no, right now my plans, honestly, I think I'm trying to. Funny enough, I'm trying to make a little bit more of like a life for myself in Europe. Not necessarily settle down as much, but I have my girlfriend, obviously in Poland, that I want to make a future with, and I think honestly, I'm gonna just continue with my sailing job. I'm going to try to climb the ladder a bit more, and I'm going to try to score some cooler boats in cooler places. I have a connection that I'm hoping will pay off, a boat that goes to the Antarctic and Arctic, little
Wow.
expedition cruises. So I'm going to hope to do that. That should be so cool. I'm going to hope to maybe try my hand at yachting in the Mediterranean now that I have experience, because they go to some awesome places as well. Basically, just stick with the boat gig, travel as much as I can, and enjoy life. Enjoy it while we have peace and stability, right, in our world. I'm going to try my best with that. But yeah,
That's
again,
amazing.
no plan, Eli. No
Yep.
plan, man. I'm just going with it. I'm just
Exactly.
going with it.
I love it. I love it. And I feel like
Yeah.
that's something also that people don't really talk about is like this doesn't have to be like you've got like these different options, but also like eventually if you wanted to just settle down, you figure it out. You realize you figure it out. Like I never
Yeah.
expected to meet my wife in Australia and she's from Korea and like now I'm married and she's living here, but I never thought I'd learn how to do like the visa process or any of those things, but like kind of once you get that confidence that you can like figure anything out, the world just starts to open up for you. And I feel like no matter
Yeah.
what you decide to do, like you'll be able to figure it out. Whether that's eventually getting some type of like remote job or like making it so that you've worked your way up to where it works for these things
Yeah.
just work out. And I feel like not having a plan sometimes is the best plan. So
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it is. Sometimes it isn't. Honestly, for a lot of people, like, just keep in mind that the world's a big place. There's a lot going on. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of things. So never feel like you're stuck in what you're doing. There's always something. There's so much you can do. There's so much to see. Don't get stuck in the same place.
awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. I think this was super helpful,
yeah,
and I
dude.
hope the people watching, if they're like on the fence or like just want a new perspective, I hope this really helps because you and I, we connected through the internet, which is incredible, and through
So
a love
cool.
of travel. So it's just like I'm really hoping that like if you're watching this and you're scared or you're on the fence, that like my experiences or his experiences just like make it seem a little more approachable. So.